everybody, this is Bug-Ass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the DC Comics Icons Aquaman figure. So before we take a look at Aquaman, let's take a look at the other accessories that he comes with. So, first up, he comes with 3 pairs of hands, and these are the fisted hands I have on him right now. Let's take these off, and they come off fairly easily. I have heard rumors that these are very fragile and that the joints shatter, but I think the pegs are made nicely so that they won't break off really easily, and it feels like a sturdy kind of plastic, so that's another good thing. Up next, he comes with the relaxed hands. I like to leave one of these on him to grip his trident. So let me put this on like this. So there he is, just with the relaxed hands. That's kind of just for a standard pose. Or if you want, it could be for his effect for his alternate head there. And then he comes with 2 alternate hands for holding his trident. And, oh, that's the wrong one. Here. And you can tell that this is made for holding the trident because of the way it's made. Now, it is a little tough to get in there, and the trident is very fragile, and that's why I only do one hand, because both hands, he has another, where's the other hand? There. He has another one that's just like that, so you can get him holding it in both hands. But the trident is very fragile. It's just very thin, and I tried putting it in both hands, and it was a little tough to get it into this hand, and I was bending it a little bit. So if you do that, it definitely will break. Let me go ahead and put his trident in his hand. So here's the trident, and it looks really good. Just casting that gold color, but it is a really bright gold color, so that's good. But as you can see, it's very thin, especially up here at the fork parts. It is very thin. So that's another reason why I leave one relaxed hand on him, because it kind of slides through a little hard. But with this hand, I can have him gripping the trident like that. That way, you know, I don't have to worry about breaking the trident, and he can still hold it in both hands. So now let's take a look at his alternate head, his final accessory. Now the head pops off just a little bit hard, but nothing major. And it pops on pretty easily. Let me take this effect piece off here. There. So, right now he has a hole in his head because this communicating with sea life effect. I don't know if that's considered a telekinetic effect or not. But it just ports in like that. And it kind of looks funny, like in person. I mean, it kind of looks like he's a unicorn. A reverse unicorn, I guess, since the horn would be the other way. I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of this effect piece. Plus, if you take it out, then he has a giant hole in his head, so that doesn't look too nice. So yeah, there he is with that head. And I just prefer his standard head. His normal head. Oh, where'd I put that? The normal head. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt. So I think the head sculpt looks really nice. I feel like the hair should have been just a little bit of a darker shade of blonde, because the way it is, you really can't differentiate his head from his hair that much. It might be because the sculpt is a little bit smooth. I feel like there could have been a little more sculpt to it. That way you could differentiate it a little bit. But overall, it looks pretty good. and like I feel like maybe his hair should be the same color as his eyebrows. Then you could definitely tell that it was a separate piece. Like I said, it's a little hard if you have it far away like that to differentiate the hair from the head. I mean, it doesn't help that I have the flash on my camera, because you can see it better that way. But without the flash on, you couldn't really tell. But his armor looks nice. The scales are sculpted very nicely, and they have a nice shine to them. It's not quite the same color as the Trident. This is well, it's not really gold. It's more orange, like a metallic orange color, and it looks pretty nice. And the joints are the same color, so that's a plus. Some action figures that have lots of sculpting to them usually have different colored pegs, and I'm not sure why. That always bothers me. But and his belt. Another thing is his belt kind of blends in with his shirt right here with the scales, because this is a metallic orange, and it kind of looks the same. It kind of blends in too. Not a big problem. It just kind of blends in if you have it back like that. Then it kind of all looks like one piece. And for his gloves and his pants, they used a shiny green. And it looks pretty nice. And he really doesn't have much sculpting. I mean, he has sculpting for his muscles and stuff here on his legs, but that's about it. He has the fins on the back of his calves. And they're kind of rubbery, so I don't think you have to worry about breaking those off if you drop it or anything. So now, let's go over the articulation. He has a ball-jointed head that really can't look back at all. Can't look down all the way, though. He can move his head side to side. There's a little bit of pivot to it. He has ball-jointed shoulders that can move out that far. He has swivel at the bicep, double-jointed elbow. Now, the double-jointed elbow can't bend in all the way. It can't bend in that far, though. All of the hands have a swivel at the wrist that can move side to side and up and down. He has, or he's supposed to have, a swivel diaphragm joint there at the torso, but it really doesn't work like that. Or maybe it's supposed to be a ball-jointed diaphragm. But either way, it doesn't work. And he has an ab crunch that can crunch forward just a little bit and back just a little bit. It's kind of odd the ab crunch is here at the waist, though. It's definitely a different joint. This is the first action figure that I've seen that joint on. He has ball-jointed hips that can do a complete split. These are actually ball-jointed, like, what other figure? The teenage body mold for, Spider-Man and, Ms. Marvel and Spider-Gwen and those characters. He actually has those kind of ball-jointed hips. So, you can get a pretty good range of motion with his legs here. He can kick forward all the way. He can kick back all the way. He does not have any swivel at the thigh. So, if you want to get him into a pose, you'll kind of have to angle those the ball joints right there. So, that is a little bit unfortunate. I mean, I would have liked that, but it doesn't really bother me that much, since you can kind of pivot it there to get the effect of a swivel thigh. He has double jointed knee that can only bend in that far because of the fins on his calf right there. He has swivel at the ankle. I just about said swivel at the thigh. Swivel at the ankle that can move up and down, and he has an ankle rocker. So now let's do some size comparisons. So for the DC Comics Icons figures, they're kind of an odd scale. So I have a few figures here to show next to compare his scale. So here he is next to the DC Multiverse Rebirth Batman. And Batman, he's supposed to be a 6-inch figure, so I think these are like 5-inch figures. I mean, you could definitely get him in your display. He'll just be a little short. There he is next to the Multiverse Rebirth Batman. Here he is next to the DC Collectibles New 52 Cyborg, and he's 7-inch scale. But he's a big character, so he scales with Multiverse and with the Icons figures. And finally, here he is next to his movie counterpart, the Jason Momoa Aquaman. So you can see where they were going with his design. In the new movie, he has a design that's definitely similar to this. In this, he just had some gold highlights here and there, and more green. But now, his movie suit is literally just this, with more scales and stuff sculpted on it. So, I'm definitely excited to get that sometime, the new Multiverse Aquaman blade. So, overall, I would highly recommend this Aquaman figure. It is just really awesome. And there's plenty of accessories with him, too. I'm definitely thinking about getting more. I traded for this one, and I could not be more happier. This actually completed my Justice League, or my New 52 Justice League. And all of my Justice League but Cyborg are Multiverse. And I managed to fit him in my display there, so you can do that. So I would highly, highly recommend this figure. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.